Oh, there we go. Did you know there's a mute button on this thing? There we go. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Yeah. So this is how it usually goes for me. I'm not good. I am not good at this part. Also, you have to plug in certain critical aspects of the setup, or else they also don't work. Is that better? Okay, good. All right. You know what I'm going to do, guys? There's 53 people. We're going to just leave it, I guess, and we'll figure it out. This is kind of impromptu. I know you can't see me. I'm going to do this for right now, okay? Because I'm too tall for my stupid camera. You can see the top of Jeff's head. So we're over here. We're hoping to run some calls today. It's just not happening for whatever reason. And actually, this is how it works: is whenever you have a situation where you're going to take some time to try to run some calls together, the universe says, no, you have to sit here and wait for calls, and none are going to come in. So that's basically how today has gone.
It's when you want calls.
When you want calls,
it to be crazy, it doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
And then when you are too busy to run calls, and the line is understaffed, is when the phone stops ringing or starts ringing.
I got your bucket.
Okay. One person is running 3 calls at a time, and
so we thought we would take advantage of it. And I know that I've been busy a lot.
What have you been up to?
Hold on. So I went to India, and then I went to Guatemala, and I have some stuff about that coming out soon. Not Guatemala. I was just there for fun. I didn't film much at all, but I do have a big pile of questions in the comments that I haven't been able to answer. So we're going to try doing that today.
You get the same thing in South Africa. When I want to call, there's nothing. I recommend getting in the shower.
Order a pizza?
Ordering pizza, or what you do in South Africa if you order pizza.
We did try to... We went to Chinese food.
Yeah, where we had to sit down and order food. It still didn't work.
That usually will do it. As soon as the food comes, usually there's going to be just a ton of snakes are going to come, but it didn't happen today. So all of our usual tricks are... God, my bucket's so short. This, I think, is going to be a recurring thing, too, is every time that I start a live, I'm going to have to realize that I'm so awful with this equipment. So we'll figure that out later. Okay. So if you have questions, you can throw them in here. Otherwise, we're going to start working on some of the... Let me see this. Okay, you ready to move to Tucson? You prepare your yard for less rattlesnakes at your house? That's a good question. There's lots of ways. The biggest thing is just to look at where you live. There's going to be places that have lots of rattlesnakes or snakes in general. There's going to be places that have none. So just look, if you're near native desert habitat, then you can probably count on being able to see rattlesnakes, or at least a little bit. The biggest things you can do, especially if the home has been vacant for a while, is to just look at the landscaping and make sure you remove anything that isn't necessary. So if it's overgrown, if there's any bushes that you're not in love with, if there's lantana or plum or rosemary, get rid of those. Review the sprinkler setup. If there's a lot of sprinklers and that's not what you want, get rid of them. Basically, just decide on what kind of yard that you want to have. And the more lush and green and wet it is, the more rattlesnakes you're going to see. If you go the other way and it looks like the surface of Mars, you're going to see fewer rattlesnakes, but you could always see one at random. So just kind of make those decisions and just try to clean up things as much as you can. I might have to move a diamondback real fast too, because I have a really noisy one right now. I'm babysitting some snakes for Eric, and one of them is way too noisy, and it's really distracting to me all the time.
That's just not the
I'll catch
of your life.
Yeah,
rattlesnake.
I'll catch myself listening to it when I'm trying to give an answer, and I'll start choking on the words. So, how many calls do we get in the winter? One a day, maybe one every other day. Sometimes we'll go for a week without any. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of this guy.
Okay, let's see a snake.
Jeff, you answer questions while I'm doing this.
This is how Rattlesnake Solutions crashes and burns. I got on and started answering questions for you.
get this snake into a bucket so they'll shut up.
Very good.
Oh my God.
Watch an awesome movie. That's a good one.
There you go. Yeah, start a movie.
They want to see a snake.
All right, well, how about you back up and I'll show you this snake. It's rude to just shove a snake in your face. So.
Yes, rattlesnakes are in the same family, right? The vipers, Viperidae.
Yes.
Rattlesnakes are vipers.
Okay. Go back up.
Yep.
Here we go. This is the noisy guy. I'm going to be taking a break so we can talk without nonstop rattling.
Are those snakes in the terrariums behind y'all? Yes. All of them. The ones behind us, all of them. Yes, they are different species of rattlesnake Bryan has in his collection. For education purposes, you do not really have any crazy exotics or anything. They're all of utility.
No, I don't keep them. So the thing is these are not pets. These animals that we have here are, we use it for education work. Some of them are ones that we're breeding for different purposes. There are rescues. There are poached animals that were surrendered. All kinds of stuff, but we don't really have. It means that I don't get to have pet snakes anymore, but they all kind of are. I don't name them. I don't treat them like pets. I can certainly like them and take good care of them, but I don't want to make that mistake of becoming complacent, and that's something that can happen as an artifact of treating them like pets, unfortunately.
What's the best thing to do when you get bit by a rattlesnake?
All right, your turn.
The best thing to do when you get bit by a rattlesnake is get yourself to a hospital. Call 911. Don't suck out the venom. Don't do any of the crazy things. Those little snake bite kits you get at Walmart. Are they good?
No, they don't work.
No.
I'm actually kind of thinking about how to handle this because I contacted the manufacturer of one of those snake bite kits and asked, it's like, hey, how can you know that this isn't working, right? You know this because it's been debunked so many times with people. And the answer I got that I was really disappointed in was that they accuse the doctors that have shown that it's not effective. They accuse them of faking science to make money, which is kind of ironic because they're ignoring science to make money. And then they sent me they followed up again recently with some old studies that have been since, it's been advanced upon. So they know it doesn't work, but they're defending it. It's just kind of it's trying to figure out if I'm even going to go down that road. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm probably not the guy to do it. But I thought that I was hoping to get like a response like, oh, we didn't, thank you. We're an ethical company. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. We'll stop hurting people right away. But no, that's not what.
Best thing is a tourniquet? No. Get to a hospital. That is the best thing.
If you're bitten by a rattlesnake on your finger and it's a bite that wouldn't even leave a scar and you tied it off right here and you went to the hospital, you may have lost your hand right there because you need that venom to not sit in one place and destroy tissue. So I'm running around. I have to.
You're a busy man. It's fine.
Well, as soon as I got rid of one snake, but the other one started rattling. So,
Thank you for kind words for everybody who's given them. Thank you.
All right. You want to grab one out of the pot?
Sorry?
Out of the live inbox?
Out of this one?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys got some good stuff, but there are a couple questions that have been in the long form comments that we promised that we'd address. We'll try to get to as many as we can. This is a lot more than this is a lot. This is it coming in. Okay.
Just pick a random one and remember to delete it later.
Okay. Are there any bites? This is relevant, kind of. Are there any bites by a coral snake in Arizona? Was wondering if there are bites. What kind of antivenom would you give for this particular snake?
So there are bites from coral snakes in Arizona. They're almost all to hands or webbing between fingers by people that are picking them up intentionally. And I can't think of any instances
I don't know
that are not purpers.
That are not people that are, picking them up intentionally.
So if you were to change the phrasing of the question to, are there coral snake bites that are accidental, that happen to just normal people that aren't intentionally saying, oh, look, a coral snake, I'm going to pick that up? No, that's not really something that anyone has to worry about. And I don't think they would even give antivenom for it, not for microbites.
I think they manage symptoms.
Yeah, manage symptoms, manage pain. It can be serious, but it's not. it's not a thing that means you have to go to the hospital, but you're not going to die. I don't think microroides or our type of coral snake has never killed a person before, and I am not aware of any accidental bites ever. There's zero on record, just like Gila monsters.
So if you were to ask, is a coral snake in Arizona, is it dangerous? That's interesting, because if I were to pick up a hawk or like an angry fox or something, it would, out here.
That's dangerous.
It's about as dangerous as a coral snake is. You're going to go to the hospital, you're going to get treatment. But realistically, a coral snake, if an encounter with a coral snake can be absolutely harmless if you're not being ridiculous.
Yep. Sorry, I'm running around. I'm looking. This is very impromptu, as you can tell. I'm not like prepared for anything. I'm just looking for.
Okay. Take a look here. There's a lot of them coming in.
We'll get to what we can.
I'll go back and forth. How about, since there's so many coming in?
I'm looking for a chair. Two snake.
This is good stuff. Do you all work with milking snakes for making antivenom?
No. So there was a TV show that came out a few years ago that was a premise where people were running around trying to get that liquid gold and get rich. They called us about it. It's a nonsensical idea. Nobody makes any money from that. There is venom that is collected for that purpose, but it's done in a very controlled setting in a lab. So if they're going to go, hey, we want to get diamondback venom. We have 150 diamondbacks that are kept for just that purpose, and they go get them all at once. The locality of those, in the history of those animals needs to be known. So it's a very controlled thing. There isn't much of a way that we would do anything with that. The only venom that we've ever been involved with collecting was for scientific purposes, like checking lineage, venom composition of Arizona black rattlesnakes, for instance, or submitting venom from some of these other animals to just larger venom studies. So it's not really to make anti-venom. It's more for science.
Yeah. I like this one. What does mildly venomous mean?
Like mildly spicy. You might
It's exactly what it means. It says exactly what it means.
It's very descriptive. So you might like a little bit of Tabasco on your eggs, but you're not putting, you're not doing the like one chip challenge as a snack, right? So it's very much like that. There are animals. There's a lot of snakes, including things like garter snakes, that have some toxicity to their venom, but it doesn't mean it's dangerously toxic. And the reason why we use words like mildly is that we have to qualify that, right? So if we say, if we characterize things as just venomous versus non-venomous, you're going to end up with a list of animals like ground snakes, shovel-nosed snakes, garter snakes, hog-nosed snakes.
That are popular pet.
Yeah, things that like venomous, because people equate venomous to danger in the hospital, when most of those things either aren't going to bite you, aren't going to hurt you if they did bite you, or it's such a non-issue that it's not worth mentioning. It's more of just from a human perspective, trivia answer. So you're left with saying things like mildly venomous or dangerously venomous, so that you can differentiate between those two things. Hopefully that answers it. It's kind of complicated, but we need to, a lot of snakes are venomous. Well, there's venomous lizards that aren't even Gila monsters that comes up too. All the monitors, they have some, it's not worth calling them a venomous animal, even if they're technically producing some kind of venom.
The bite is negligible.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. There are people that are envenomated by hog-nosed snakes, but it's kind of interesting that almost all of those are, I'm not going to say self-inflicted, but self-allowed, where people have a hog-nosed snake and it bites them and they're like, oh, I'm just going to let it chew on me for a half hour and see what happens. And then they end up having to go to the doctor because of that. That is still not a dangerous animal. That's like a person that has done something negligent, and now that harmless, essentially animal, that's a very popular pet, has a record of hospitalization. So
cool.
I kind of like you moderating like this. It makes it much more easy. But I'm doing this by myself. It's hard.
Yeah, you gotta go like lean in and squint, and then take a couple seconds, and then read, and then read.
Yeah, there's a reason we're doing this too without handling the snakes. Just so you're aware, it can be distracting, and I know that is a thing that you probably see on YouTube a lot of people doing things with snakes that are not safe. We do not want to do that. So Yeah, there's some mild handling we might do. We might move some snakes around, but for the most part, there's not going to be a lot of like while we're doing this having rattlesnakes out, that kind of thing. It's a decision.
Yeah. I captured and released a long, black, thin, and fast snake in North Scottsdale years ago. It took days for the stink to leave my hands. Tried everything. What do y'all do? I tried everything.
It's coach whip.
That's stink. So that is a very, very common defense mechanism in snakes. Even rattlesnakes do it too. They'll musk on you. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a skunk. If you grab it, they will poop all over you or musk all over you, and it tastes not well. It does taste terrible. You've tasted it, right? Tasted it.
Yeah, I just messed up. We had a call that I missed because I turned my notifications off.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So this letting you know this could end at any time if we actually get a call to run.
Okay. How do you get it off?
If it bites,
No, the musk.
oh, wash your hands.
Yeah. That orange, you know that gritty orange stuff that you can get at hardware stores? Mechanics use it and stuff to get like oils and stuff off. That's worked really well for me. But yeah, wash your hands and again and again and again. But if you're really, if you are seriously going nuts about it, that orange stuff works for me at least.
All right. Sorry to leave you hanging, Jeff. I got to look to see if we can actually run this call or not.
That's fine. I'm going to look at a couple things. Yeah, pythons stink bad. They do. Take a look. Our northern Pacific rattlers are called non-aggressive. Are there some that are more aggressive? I wouldn't say so. I think they're more like individuals. Mojave rattlesnakes get a really, really bad reputation out here as being super aggressive. I do a lot of Mojave rattlesnake relocations in my part of the valley. And I would say that there are not any more aggressive individuals than there are with diamondbacks or blacktails or anything like that. It's just the way it's the way it is. If you were to get in an argument with someone who has pit bulls or loves pit bulls, they would probably say the same thing. You know, there are species that have a reputation of being aggressive that is not warranted. So yeah, there are puppy dog tame type diamondbacks, and there are really spicy diamondbacks, and the same for anything else.
So we're going to have to do this another time. We just got to go. So we're going to go run it.
Thank you, though. You guys were awesome.
Killing some
for the
time.
time that we had.
Yeah, we will. We'll reference this actually in the video, so you see which one it is.
Yeah.
We'll put some of this in here so you can see that. That's how you conjure a call. You order food or you start to do a live. So
we did it.
Anyway, we got to go. See you later.